Hello and Namaste. Welcome to Indic Atman. As part of the Indian Vedanta series, we will cover the Tattva Bodha, the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita in phase 1 and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata in phase 2. Our topic for today is Tattva Bodha. Indic Vedanta is a huge ocean of ancient knowledge and wisdom. It covers various aspects of life such as food, health, education, marriage, nature, conflicts and resolutions, art and music, prayers and rituals, wars and weapons, birth and death, and so much more. It also covers more larger aspects of the universe such as the cosmos, weather, astronomy, philosophy, understanding of God, universal love, and consciousness. A student or a seeker who desires to swim in this ocean needs to prepare himself well so that he does not get lost. And that is why we have the Tattva Bodha. Tattva Bodha is a collection of important concepts which will help us in understanding the Vedas later. Adi Shankaracharya realized the need of such a text and has given this gift to humanity. Bodha means knowledge. It comes from the word Budh, meaning to know. The word Tattva can be divided into two parts. Tat meaning that and Tva meaning ness. Example, Sadhutva means nobleness. So Tattva means that-ness, meaning the thing or quality which makes that object or person that. Tattva Bodha helps us to know the natural thatness of the Vedas. There are many books and articles on Tattva Bodha, but more or less they cover these concepts. We will be covering some of these concepts in part 1, which is this video, and the rest of the concepts in part 2. Let us start with the first concept, Satya. Satya stands for truth or reality. Reality may be expressed from various standpoints. There are 3 grades of reality. Pratibhashika Satya. This is a reality that exists for a very short duration. It shines only for a little while. An example is an experience of a dream. In the dream, you feel you're actually in that place or situation, so it is a temporary reality. Vyavaharik Satya. This refers to the transactional reality that we experience every day through our senses. It is called transactional because the objects are deemed to be real by our senses. We can see, hear, smell, and feel them. It covers not only the solid objects but also the mental products such as thoughts, words, and ideas which are also transacted daily. Paramarthik Satya. This is the absolute standpoint of reality. This grade of reality is not relative to any other grades of reality. It concerns with the absolute truth or the Brahman, and in which the other 2 grades of reality exist. The next concept is Mangalacharan. It means the initial auspicious prayer offered before any good task to remove any obstacles. A powerful beginning to any journey will support the seeker in any challenges in the journey. There are 3 types of Mangalacharan. Vastu Nirdesha Rupa. This type of auspicious prayer is towards the Vastu or the reality which is being communicated in the text. So we pray to the content or the knowledge itself. The other 2 types are salutations to God and the Guru. Namaskara Rupa and Ashirvada Rupa. Namaskar is a salutation and Ashirvad means blessing. We thank God and the Guru for gifting us with this knowledge, and we also seek their blessings so that we may understand the text and practice it well without any obstacles. The next concept is Vighn or obstacles. In the previous concept, we said we pray to God to remove any obstacles in our journey. There are 3 types of obstacles. Adhyatmika Vighna. These obstacles arise from within oneself due to illness, lack of capacity, weak will, or procrastination. These arise from the microcosm or the individual himself. Adi Bhautika Vighna. These obstacles arise from things and beings around us. Example, the atmosphere may not be good enough, it might be noisy, or we may not have enough resources. It also includes people who may interfere us, demotivate us, or try to harm our work. Adi Daivika Vighna. These obstacles arise out of natural or supernatural reasons. We have no or limited control over them. Example, floods, natural calamities, earthquakes, epidemics, etc. These are more macrocosmic in nature. The next concept is Avataras. Avatara means the form in which God manifests Himself to us. There are 5 types of avatars. Purna Avatara. In this full avatara, God manifests Himself to us in His complete form. All His glory is vividly expressed. Sri Ram and Sri Krishna can be considered as Purna Avataras. Amsha Avatara. In this partial form, God reveals only an aspect of His full glory. He comes down to accomplish a small task for humanity. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha and Vamana are some examples of Amsha Avatara. Avesha Avatara. When the world or a devotee needs an immediate, sudden and overpowering intervention to stop any specific evil, God manifests in this form. One such example is the Narsimha Avatara, where Lord Vishnu came down to save his beloved devotee Prahlad. Nitya Avatara. This avatara exists on earth in various forms, in saints and sages, in noble kings, in mothers. We find aspects of God in such people, basically people who provide good direction, nourishing and guidance to humanity. Guru Avatara. God often takes a form of a guru or a teacher. This applies to any teacher who imparts any kind of good and useful knowledge, but most definitely to those teachers who guide us on the spiritual path. The next concept is Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anu means to know, Bandha means to connect, Chatushtaya stands for fourfold. The term translates to knowing the 4 considerations by which a student may connect with any learning process. These 4 considerations are Adhikari. This outlines the eligibility of the seeker. Is he or she eligible for this knowledge? In terms of the Vedas, the most important condition is to have a burning desire for truth and liberation. We cannot plant this desire in someone, even by brainwashing. Everyone has a seed within and it sprouts when it has to. Vishaya. This stands for the subject matter of the knowledge. In learning the Vedas, the core subject matter is the various ways of reaching the ultimate truth. One may reach the truth by various means, by selfless work, by devotion, by meditation, or just by immersing oneself in a specific subject such as science, music, or art. The student should know that the subject matter in this case is the processes through which we can reach the supreme reality. Prayojan. This talks about the benefit of gaining the knowledge. In this case of learning Vedas, the ultimate fruit or benefit is to lead us to know God's love and the knowledge of the self, leading us to supreme bliss. In the process, we will have many other benefits as well, such as building good virtues of humility, patience, compassion, discipline, which will all be useful to us in our daily lives. Sambandha. This word means connection, the connection between the eligible student, the subject, and the benefits. So it brings it all together as a strong bond. The next concept is Sadhana Chatushtaya. A student needs to slowly build 4-fold qualifications as part of this spiritual process. They are Viveka, Vairagya, Shadha Sampatti, and Mumukshutva. Viveka. Viveka is the capacity to discriminate between Nitya, that is the permanent, and Anitya, that is the impermanent. Anitya has a temporary existence between birth and death. It changes with time and is not the full truth, so we cannot rely upon it. Nitya is that which has always existed with no beginning or an end, and it is the ultimate truth. One of the ways of examining if anything in life is Nitya or Anitya is to check with these 4 questions. Does it have a sure and certain cause? Is it made up of or can be broken into parts? Can it be perceived by our senses? Does it have a beginning or an end? If the answer to all these are yes, then it is anitya or impermanent. Vairagya. Vairagya is to have dispassion towards the fruits of our actions or any desires. There are 3 types of Vairagya. Manda Vairagya. This is a temporary dispassion from specific desires because of a painful experience. For example, when we lose a spouse or a child, we may not wish to have another spouse or child for some time because of the past painful experience and the fear of the pain. Madhyam Vairagya. In this kind of dispassion, we want to reject all worldly desires and pleasures, but only to seek heavenly pleasures. So the motivation here is still a desire to have something more pleasurable. Tivra Vairagya. This kind of dispassion arises only out of Viveka, that is, complete discernment of the permanent and the impermanent, where no desire exists. Shada Sampatti stands for the 6-fold virtues. These 6 virtues are Shama, meaning control of the mind, to be calm and collected. Dhamma, meaning control of the senses. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Uparama, meaning observing one's own duties and dharma sincerely. Titiksha, meaning enduring any kind of situations, either good or bad, hot or cold, joy or sorrow, insult or praise. Shraddha, meaning to have full faith in the scriptures, in the Guru and God. Samadhana, meaning single-pointed focus of mind, being firm to achieve the goal. And the last qualification is mumukshutva, that is, to have a burning desire for truth and liberation. It is said a happy slave is the worst enemy of freedom. If you want to remain chained or are happy being chained, you will never seek freedom. Only if you have a burning desire within you to gain knowledge and be free from worldly pleasures, you will take the first steps in that direction and will continue walking on that path. The last concept that we will look at is Tattva Viveka, which means inquiry into the truth. In the previous concept, we learned about Viveka, which is discrimination between Nitya and Anitya, the permanent and the impermanent. This helps the seeker to detach himself from the worldliness of the world. Now the seeker is encouraged to discern between the Sat, the real, and the Mithya, the unreal. This will help him to attach himself to God. The Mithya or the unreal is a superimposition on the Sat, the real. A rope may seem like a snake to someone who is not aware. So the unreal image of the snake is superimposed on the reality of the rope. When the truth that it is a rope is perceived, the snake is then seen as false. Sat is unchanging because it is the truth. The part of you which is involved in this world fully, using your senses, the ever-changing you. Is this the real you? Or is there something more deeper to you, something unchanging? What is the real and the unreal of you? What is your unchanging Sat, your unchanging real self or Atman? The self is not your body or mind or your actions. The self is just a witness of the consciousness, and its nature is Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Here begins a very exciting part of Tattva Bodha. We will continue our learning and seeking in part 2. Thank you for joining Indic Atman today. I hope you will join me again in the next video. Tathastu. Namaste.